A single raw donkey hide moves onto a factory floor, and just days later, it becomes a finished leather jacket hanging in a store. What happens in between those two moments? And why is this process so carefully controlled in modern factories? At first glance, a raw hide looks rough, uneven, and unusable. It still carries moisture, hair, and natural material that would quickly break down if left untreated. Turning it into durable leather requires a precise sequence of steps, strict timing, and constant monitoring. Modern donkey leather factories operate under tight regulations because leather production directly affects product quality, worker safety, and the environment. Every stage, from cleaning and hair removal to tanning and drying, must be carefully managed to prevent damage to the hide and reduce waste. Unlike traditional methods used decades ago, today's facilities rely on controlled temperatures, measured chemical treatments, and quality inspections at every phase. A small mistake early in the process can weaken the leather, shorten its lifespan, or make it unsuitable for clothing. By the time that jacket is stitched and finished, the hide has been transformed through science, skilled labor, and industrial precision. What looks like a simple fashion item is actually the result of a tightly regulated process designed to balance durability, efficiency, and modern manufacturing standards. For centuries, donkey leather has been valued for qualities that are hard to replicate: strength, flexibility, and long-lasting durability. Long before modern factories existed, craftsmen learned that donkey hide could withstand repeated use while remaining soft enough to shape into clothing and tools. That balance made it useful across generations, from work gear to finished garments. Today, the way donkey leather is produced looks very different. Modern factories still rely on the core principles developed over hundreds of years, but those methods are now supported by industrial technology. Controlled temperatures, measured treatments, and mechanized equipment allow manufacturers to produce consistent leather at scale, something traditional workshops could never achieve on their own. At the same time, global demand for leather products has increased. Leather jackets, shoes, and accessories are now sold worldwide, placing pressure on supply chains to deliver large volumes while meeting strict quality expectations. This demand has also brought greater scrutiny. Governments and industry groups now enforce regulations that affect how hides are sourced, transported, and processed. As a result, modern donkey leather production is no longer just about making a durable material. It involves documentation, inspections, and compliance with safety and environmental standards. Factories must track where hides come from, how they are treated, and how waste is managed throughout the process. These controls are designed to protect workers, reduce environmental impact, and ensure consistent product quality. Understanding this process helps explain what goes into everyday leather products. A finished jacket represents more than style or comfort. It reflects a combination of historical knowledge, modern engineering, and regulatory oversight. Behind each piece of leather is a system built to balance tradition with the expectations of today's global manufacturing world. The process begins long before any machinery is switched on. Donkey hides are sourced from approved suppliers that follow legal and traceability requirements. Each shipment is documented so factories can track where the hides came from and confirm they meet industry standards. Once inside the facility, every hide goes through an initial inspection. Skilled workers examine thickness, surface quality, and moisture levels. Small flaws can affect the final strength of the leather, so damaged or uneven hides are separated early in the process. Next comes cleaning and soaking. The hides are washed in large drums to remove dirt, salt used for preservation, and natural residues. This step restores moisture to the skin, making it flexible enough for further treatment. Hair removal follows. Using carefully controlled chemical or enzymatic solutions, the hair is loosened without harming the underlying skin. Timing and concentration are critical here. Too much exposure can weaken the hide. The most important transformation happens during tanning. The hides are treated with either vegetable-based materials or chrome compounds. This stabilizes the skin, prevents natural decay, and gives leather its durability and resistance to heat and moisture. After tanning, the leather is slowly dried and conditioned. Temperature and airflow are monitored to prevent cracking, warping, or shrinkage. Conditioning agents help restore softness and flexibility. Once ready, large sheets of leather are cut and shaped. patterns are marked, and pieces are prepared for garment use. Finally, the jacket comes together. Panels are stitched, linings are added, and finishing touches are applied. What began as a raw hide is now a functional, wearable leather jacket, shaped by precision and controlled craftsmanship. Donkey leather stands out for reasons that are not always visible on the surface. One key difference lies in the structure of its fibers. Compared to many other animal leathers, donkey hide has a denser fiber network. This density gives the leather higher resistance to tearing, which is why it has traditionally been used in products that need to handle repeated stress and movement. The journey from raw hide to finished leather is also more complex than most people realize. A single donkey hide can pass through more than a dozen carefully controlled stages before it is considered usable. Each phase builds on the last, and skipping or rushing even one step can compromise the final quality. This layered process is what allows the leather to maintain both strength and flexibility at the same time. Modern tanning methods have also changed how resources are used. Older open-pit tanning systems relied heavily on large volumes of water and offered little control over waste. Today's enclosed drums and recycling systems allow factories to use water more efficiently. Some facilities reuse treated water across multiple cycles, reducing overall consumption while maintaining consistent results. Not all leather is treated equally once processing is complete. Finished hides are graded based on surface quality, thickness, and uniformity. Only the highest grade leather is selected for outerwear like jackets, where appearance and durability are critical. Lower grades may still be strong, but are often redirected towards smaller goods or internal components. These details add value to the final product. What looks like a simple leather jacket reflects material science, controlled manufacturing, and careful selection. Understanding these factors helps explain why high-quality leather products perform differently and why their production requires such precision. In modern donkey leather factories, quality control begins with tracking. Each hide is logged into a batch system that follows it through every stage of production. This allows manufacturers to monitor consistency, identify problems quickly, and trace finished leather back to its original source if questions arise. For large-scale operations, this level of documentation is essential for meeting industry and regulatory expectations. Environmental management is another critical focus. Tanning can generate wastewater that contains residues from processing, so modern facilities are required to treat this water before it is released. Filtration, settling tanks, and chemical neutralization systems remove harmful substances and reduce the impact on surrounding water sources. In many regions, factories are regularly inspected to confirm that these systems are working as intended. Some manufacturers are also adapting how leather is processed by combining traditional knowledge with newer, lower chemical methods. Vegetable-based tanning agents, enzyme treatments, and more precise dosing systems allow factories to reduce overall chemical use while still achieving durable results. These approaches do not replace modern tanning entirely, but they can lower environmental pressure when applied carefully. Worker safety is closely connected to these changes. International standards influence how factories design workspaces, handle materials, and train employees. Protective equipment, ventilation systems, and clearly defined procedures help reduce long-term health risks in environments that rely on chemicals and heavy machinery. Together, these practices shape how modern donkey leather is produced. Quality control systems protect product consistency, while sustainability measures address environmental and human concerns. As expectations continue to evolve, factories are under increasing pressure to balance efficiency, responsibility, and compliance, turning leather production into a process that is as much about oversight as it is about craftsmanship. A leather jacket is often seen as a simple fashion choice, but its story runs much deeper. Behind its smooth surface and clean stitching is a complex industrial process shaped by history, science, and modern oversight. Each jacket represents a long chain of decisions, measurements, and controlled steps that begin far from the retail floor. From the moment a raw hide enters a factory, every stage is designed to balance durability with efficiency. Materials are tested, treatments are timed precisely, and conditions are carefully monitored. At the same time, responsibility has become a central part of production. Regulations, quality standards, and environmental controls now play a major role in how leather is made, influencing everything from sourcing to waste management. As technology advances, these processes continue to evolve. Automation improves consistency, data tracking increases transparency, and newer methods aim to reduce environmental impact without sacrificing performance. What was once a largely manual craft is now a highly regulated manufacturing system that reflects changing global expectations. In the end, modern donkey leather production is about more than creating a durable jacket. It is about adapting tradition to meet today's standards. The finished product stands as a quiet record of that balance, where craftsmanship, industrial precision, and responsibility come together to shape the leather people wear every day.